Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Hope you're having an awesome day. Today is basically Pokemon Christmas. We got the mother of all Pokemon Sword and Shield trailers. We've got a 15-minute Pokemon Direct, and there is so much to talk about, guys. I have found so many little hidden details. I just can't wait to show you guys. So I put in a lot of effort into kind of researching all this stuff and looking into the smaller details. So guys, if you do enjoy this video, a like is super appreciated. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Sword and Shield, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to become a part of the Twintendo Nation. Okay guys, let's just jump into this. First of all, we can see one of the first areas in the Gala region, and we can see the train station in this town, and it matches up with the one at the bottom of the Gala map, so we know where this is. And next up is what I assume to be the first city of the game, and we can see a Pokemon stadium or gym, I'm pretty sure it's a gym, in the background as we can see the symbol for it. And we can also see some advertising off one of the lampposts. Now it seems to be about the Pokemon gym, and we can see what looks to be a trophy. Maybe it's the Pokemon League in fact, and that's what you get for beating the champion. Now there are also some shops along the streets, as we can see, including a hairdresser's, so we know that we can change our appearance very early on, since this seems to be the first city. And what the other shops are, I personally don't really know. The one on the left looks like a post office, or potentially a Pokemon Center, but I'm unsure on that last point. I'm pretty sure it's not a Pokemon Center. So let me know in the comments what you guys think any of these shops on the left or the right could be. We definitely know one is a hairdresser's, but apart from that, no clue on the others. Now next up is the first look at the middle city in the Gala region. Not much to say on this except this place is absolutely massive. The big mechanical building also seems to have a crown on top, so is this a palace perhaps? Only time will tell, but we do get to see the city a bit more later on in the Pokemon Direct. Now here's our first look at our rival. His name is Hop, and he looks to be a friendly rival again, although he does remind me of Barry from Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, because he kind of has like a cheeky kind of grin, you know, that kind of attitude similar to Barry, so I could definitely see the resemblance in that. Now we also get to have a look at the Gala region starters in the game. We've only seen them in like a 3D animated cutscene, so this is the first time we actually see them in Pokemon Sword and Shield's new engine, and this is very likely the part where you choose your starter. I'm going to be choosing Sobble. I'm one of the Team Sobble members, but I'd love to know what you guys are picking. Who's your starter going to be? Are you a Grookey Gang member? Are you a Score Bunny squad? Or are you Team Sobble? I'm Team Sobble. Let me know in the comments below. Maybe hashtag it. Maybe do like hashtag Team Sobble, hashtag Grookey Gang, and a hashtag Score Bunny squad. Would love to know who you are picking. Now there's also a nice little cutscene when you choose your starter, and we can see this with Score Bunny kind of giving the trainer a fist bump. I really want to see what the animation for Grookey and Sobble look like. And after that we get a first look at the desert area. We can see some ancient ruins. I hope we do get to go inside of them and see like some real Pokemon mysteries. That will be very cool. And we also get to see the first city again. It seems to have a few layers to this city, because shops are most likely on the bottom, which we saw earlier, with the factories and the industry kind of stuff on the top. And we also get our first look at the Gala region's professor. This is Professor Magnolia, and which kind of reminds me of Fairy Tail. I don't know if any of you have seen the anime, but there is a city in that called Magnolia, so that was the first thing I thought about. But that's really cool. She also has a granddaughter called Sonia, who's her assistant. I'm curious to see what kind of role in the story she plays, unless she's just not really that important, but I'm kind of hoping she's maybe like Lily was in Pokemon Sun and Moon as the professor's assistant. Maybe there's going to be a bit more to Sonia than we first thought. We also get to see 3 new Pokemon, which we'll be looking at later. And we also see Sobble showing us love, which I'm assuming this is the return of Pokemon Refresh from Pokemon Sun and Moon. So basically after a battle ends, the Pokemon that's like first in your party, you get to like clean it up, give it cuddles, basically, you know, all that kind of stuff. That's what Pokemon Refresh is. So we also get to see the grass gym town surrounded by beautiful countryside. We've seen this place earlier, but I think it just looks super nice. We also get to see a new route, the mine from the first trailer, and the ice area again. Now next up is the most exciting thing about Pokemon Sword and Shield for me, and I think a lot of you guys as well. We get the first look at the new wild areas, which is basically an almost open world area where you can turn the camera and catch wild roaming Pokemon. Now it's confirmed these wild areas are found between cities, so we can see some wild hippopotas hiding in the tall grass, almost camouflaged, and we can also see Snover outside the first city. Now interestingly, it looks like this could be dynamic weather, as this isn't the ice area we've seen earlier, but in fact outside the first big city in just the grasslands. So it looks like random weather will affect what Pokemon spawn. Also, we're seeing a few Generation 4 Pokemon here. Are Game Freak hinting at something? I'm only kidding, but I'd expect some people to be freaking out that they've seen 2 4th gen Pokemon back to back. We get to see the desert area again with a wild Rhydon. We also see another part of one of the wild areas with a brand new Pokemon, which we'll touch on soon. Next is a place in the wild area that is home to ghost Pokemon like Golurk, Duskull, and we can actually see Ghastly hiding in the grass, which is really cool. In the lake area we can see Frillish and Gyarados. By this pond we can see Stuffle, Bonsweet and Butterfree, and then following that we can see the player freely walking around next to a wild Mudsdale. Next we see the player in the rain outside the same city, more proof of dynamic weather, passing a Seismitoad. And then in the desert area we can see a wild Tyranitar. That's going to make a lot of people happy. Tyranitar is one of the best Pokemon out there. And again we can see snow in the wild area, which is a grassland part again, not the ice area, and we can see an Avalugg in the wild. A lot of you will be happy to know that the bike returns and we can use it in the wild areas as we see the trainer passing by a Horlucha. There also seems to be a power up for your bike so you can traverse in water, so it looks like no more surf. This is a really cool feature, the fact that you don't really have to, you might not even have to hop off your bike if you just drive your bike into water, maybe it just transforms. And we also get to see Milotic and Mantine. To no one's surprise, fishing returns, and we can also shake berries off trees to obtain them. There also seems to be a new mechanic as we can whistle Pokemon out of the grass like these Stuffles. And next up are these mysterious glowing lights, which we'll get onto shortly. They're going to play a big role in the game. As we can see on the left hand side of that, there's an entrance to the middle city with the entrance in the shape of a dragon's head. This has a very dragon theme, which you'll see later on in some other screenshots. Now here's a really cool low shot of the trainer running towards the middle city. Now since we can freely adjust the camera in the wild areas, it's fair to assume we can zoom in the camera on our own character like this, and we can also see a similar camera angle with the female protagonist. Now let's get a first look at the new multiplayer mode. This is part of those glowing red lights I mentioned earlier, and this can be done locally and online, and these are group raids. Think of Pokemon Go, just on a bit of a smaller scale with 4 players instead of like 20. And in these group raids, up to 4 players will take on a giant Pokemon, again similar to Pokemon Go, and one of the 4 trainers will have the opportunity to make their Pokemon giant as well, giving it an all new move pool similar to Z-moves. Think Z-moves is very similar to that. This transformation lasts 3 turns and it's called Dynamax. Now once weakened, all 4 players can catch this giant Pokemon. Now there's loads of giant Pokemon to catch, just the one example here is Gyarados. Now next we get a look at the crowd in the grass stadium. I'm assuming the colour of their clothes represents the type, so in the fire gym, expect a lot of red clothes. Now we can see our player in a football kit, which is customizable, I'm definite of this, and the reason I say this is because the first one we saw back in the February trailer had 227 on the back, which was the date of the reveal of Pokemon Sword and Shield, 27th of February. Now this one has 65 on the back, which is today's date, the 5th of June. Now we get our first look at the gym leader Milo, who has a wristband on his arm, basically that allows his Pokemon to Dynamax. It's very similar to Mega Stones and the Z-Move bracelet, so they're kind of carrying that on. Now what's interesting is his cameras are like filming the event and broadcasting it, but what they are actually are Rotom cameras. So if you look closely, you can see they're in the shape of Rotom. So Rotom have gone inside these cameras and flying around the stadium, broadcasting it to TV, because apparently Pokemon battles are the biggest form of entertainment in the Gala region. Now we can also see Milo has a football-like kit on as well, and it also has a badge on it which is different to ours, depicting his town or city. It's unsure if it's a town or city at the moment, but you can see the fields on the badge, which is, you know, fair enough. When you go towards the grass gym, you can see it's surrounded by beautiful fields. Now we can also see Dynamax for both players appears in gym battles, so the gym leader, Milo in this case, will be Dynamaxing his Pokemon, but you'll also be able to do that as well. It's unsure whether the grass gym is the first gym, but I'm assuming it probably is, since they show the starter Pokemon battling in the grass gym, like obviously, you know, Grookey, Scorbunny and Sobble. Now let's get our first look at our champion of the Gala region, Leon. He wears what seems to be a king's gown, so is he royalty perhaps? And we also get to see the starting town with wild Pokemon included, and this includes Butterfree and Wooloo, the brand new sheep Pokemon, my personal favourite of the new Pokemon. There's a lot of cool ones, but Wooloo takes the cake for me. And after that we see more of the ruins we saw earlier at the start of this Pokemon Direct, and it has a dog trio carved into them, or it could be Free Diglett. Either way, it's definitely one or the other. We also get another look at the middle city again, the one with the dragon entrance, and it looks absolutely stunning. Not much to say in this, I just thought this looked really, really beautiful, and I just can't wait to visit the city. We also get to see a flower shop with one of the new Pokemon outside called Gossifleur. We also see a Bidoof on a desk of what looks to be like a hotel or some important business. We can also see Wynot doing hopscotch, and by the way, benches confirmed. We can see benches in the background, which is, you know, some people like them, I don't know. I'm assuming we can sit on them. Now this kid in the crowd seems to have a Pokemon on his shirt, but I can't work it out. Is it a new one? I'm going to say yes. I don't recognize this Pokemon at all. Kind of hard to tell from the screenshot, but I'm going to say this is a new Pokemon we haven't seen yet. Now next up are the new Pokemon. This is the stuff everyone loves. So the new Pokemon are Wooloo, Gossifleur, Dreadnought, and Corviknight. Now Gossifleur evolves into Eldegoss. I personally love them all. I think Wooloo's my favourite, then Corviknight, then Dreadnought, and then Eldegoss, and then Gossifleur. Like, they're all good, but I think Wooloo and Corviknight and Dreadnought are my personal favourite. Now in the direct they mentioned how weather is a factor in what Pokemon spawn in the wild area, so this confirms dynamic weather, which we were talking about earlier. I was kind of scripting this and I wasn't sure that it had been mentioned in the Pokemon direct, but it has. So this dynamic weather, which we saw with rain, snow and sunshine, is a key factor in what wild Pokemon spawn, so that's very, very interesting. Next we see what the move menu looks like along with the Dynamax button. Here's a look at the Dynamax powered up moves like Z moves. However, you can choose from any of the 4 moves, unlike Z moves, which is kind of like you just have the one you can use. So that's very interesting to see what kind of possibilities we can do with Dynamax. We also get our first look at the Wi-Fi room, as the stadium has the typical kind of Wi-Fi floor design, as well as the logo in the back symbolizing online battle. So this is very clearly the online battling area. We also get our first look at trainer customization up close. They didn't really show too much of this, and we can also see the middle city on the right with a dragon statue in the distance, so like in the city. It's not the same as a dragon head, but I don't know, it's interesting that it's got a big dragon themed. Is this based on an actual Pokemon? Is it a legendary, a mythical? I can't wait to see if that is the case. I'm sure there's going to be some very cool dragon Pokemon in Gala Region. Now we also get a look at male customization. Again, not too much, to show. It's just kind of different hats, clothes and bags. And after that, we see Leon, who is your rival's Hop older brother. So they are related. So Hop is his younger brother and Leon is obviously the champion. So it's interesting to see if Hop will overtake his older brother one day. Now Leon, interestingly enough, I'm not sure if many people caught this, has number 1 on his shorts to represent that he is the number 1 trainer in the Gala region. It's not really too important, but I thought it was a nice inclusion for, added detail. Now after that, we get to see footage of the trainer and his rival Hop on a train. Now they both have Rotom phones. They didn't really mention Rotom phones too much, but there is a bit more information that wasn't shown in the Pokemon Direct about these phones. So basically, a Rotom phone has a lot of different power-ups, and one of these power-ups that we've seen so far can power up your bike to make it go faster in the wild areas. Not much else is known about these Rotom phones, but I'm begging it's not as annoying as a Rotom Dex from Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now after that, we can see the back of Leon's cape, which has a lot of what seems to be sponsorships on it, similar to like, football shirts have sponsors on the front sleeves and sometimes the back, so maybe it's something like that. And we finally get a look at the legendary Pokemon for Sword and Shield, which are 2 wolves. I completely got this one wrong in my predictions for the Pokemon Direct. I'll happily hold up my hands and say I got it wrong because I love wolf Pokemon, and I think these 2 look absolutely brilliant. So the Sword legendary is called Zacian, and the Pokemon Shield legendary is called Zamazenta, and they basically seem to be very similar in appearance. I'm not sure if they're like related or not, and they are confirmed to play a role in the story, which is obvious, but it's just nice that they confirmed that. And after that, we get to see the box art of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. It's a bit underwhelming for me. I wasn't a big fan of the box art, but again, box art doesn't really matter too much. It's what's inside the cartridge that counts. And we got a worldwide release date, so this is everywhere in the world can play at the same time, November the 15th. I can't wait to play these games, guys. There's also a double pack for those interested, which comes with Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, but I think I'll just be picking up Pokemon Sword. I really like both legendaries. It's hard to choose, but I just normally pick the first one of the 2, so like Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Diamond. So I'm going to go with Pokemon Sword. Let me know in the comments, are you Pokemon Sword or are you Pokemon Shield? But guys, that is everything I could find in this Pokemon Direct. There's a lot of hidden details, a lot of nice little added features, and guys, I am super excited. I enjoyed the February reveal when we first got to see Pokemon Sword and Shield, but it was a bit underwhelming. I was a bit worried because it looked quite empty. This has got rid of those fears completely. This looks absolutely stunning, and I just can't wait to play Pokemon Sword and Shield. So guys, if you enjoyed today's video, a like is super appreciated. It helps out the channel more than you could know. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Pokemon Sword and Shield, like I said, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to become a part of the Twintendo Nation. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next video. Peace!